If you are building your own online teaching business, you will make mistakes. It's just bound to happen. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to learn from them, you're going to grow from them. In this video, I want to share my 6 mistakes that I made along the way and how I handled them, and hopefully you get some insights into that, but also maybe you can avoid making the same mistakes as well. Hello everyone, my name is Tim. I help online teachers to build their online teaching businesses, to start them and to grow them. And if you are someone who wants to start your own independent teaching business, particularly with the Chinese market, then grab this course up here. It's really going to be helpful for you, and I would love to have you be a part of the launch community. All right, mistakes. They are not the most glamorous part of building a business, but they are just part of what could happen when you start your own business and you have to make lots of decisions and you start doing things that maybe you're not comfortable with or you just don't have experience with. Mistakes are just bound to happen. And just because I talk about independent teaching doesn't mean that I've made a ton of those mistakes along the way myself, because I certainly have. And I sat down and I started to think about what mistakes have I made that I've changed along the way that have helped me to kind of put things into place now that allow me to scale my business and to run my business efficiently so that I'm not kind of backtracking and having to change things as I go. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Click the bell for notifications where you get notified of new videos I make on this channel, all about building a business, about teaching online. And if you need to get in touch with me for any reason, Instagram is a good place, @OnlineTeacherDude. I would love to have you follow me and connect with me in the DMs. With all that being said, let's get into this video. Okay, definitely mistake number 1 was charging too little. You know, I've been teaching online for a long time now. My first student was about 10 years ago, and I started with prices that were very low because of a number of reasons. Number 1, I didn't really value myself as a teacher, and because I was so new to it, I didn't feel that I could charge the prices that I really am worth and that I felt like I should get paid. Even up until a couple of years ago, they were not at the rate that they are now, and I just was, growing dissatisfied with the price that I was charging because I knew that I could make more and I knew that I was worth more. So while charging less in the beginning, I think is a good idea to kind of get those first couple of clients, it is important to not feel like you need to charge that rate for everybody. Set a lower rate if you'd like to, or a discounted rate for your first few clients, but make sure that you map out where you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and slowly increase your prices as time goes on. It is not going to be a business that you are excited to run and something that you're excited to do if you don't feel like you're getting paid your worth. And as independent teachers, that is the beauty of what we get to do, because we get to charge what we're worth, and you are worth more than what companies will ever pay you. So make sure that you are setting that rate at a rate that you are comfortable with and that you need to make in order to do what you do. My second mistake was saying yes to everyone. I felt like I had to teach everybody, and that is a problem because you really can't teach everybody. And while in the beginning you might think that you can, maybe you've got someone who says, hey, my aunt wants to have English lessons, or my cousin who's in high school wants test preparation, can you teach them? While you might feel like you can, and it might be really exciting to get those new students, don't say yes to everyone. You're not able to provide that same quality if you're teaching all kinds of different subject areas or all kinds of different niches. You want to be specific in what you do and understand who you want to teach and who you're good at teaching and who you get results for. So mistake number 3 is an interesting one, and one that I see a lot of teachers facing, especially in the beginning, is letting parents dictate what you're going to teach or to dictate the curriculum. And this is something that teachers face in the beginning, like, what am I going to teach? It's a huge decision, and it can be overwhelming because there are so many resources and options out there. Parents can often influence what you teach because they might have ideas about what they want their child to learn when they approach you. Maybe they have a particular curriculum in mind or a program. My caution to you is to not give in to every request that a parent has for the curriculum. You can take their ideas. You could do a trial class with the student and gauge, what they need, and then propose something that you're comfortable teaching, maybe that you have experience with, or that you can afford. That's another important thing. You don't want to go out and buy lots of curriculums and become curriculum broke. You want to make sure that you've got sort of a plan. You've checked out some curriculum options that you'd like to teach from, and suggest those. Make sure that you are always in control. Listen to the parents for sure, but make sure that your suggestions are on the table as well. And as the teacher, as the expert, as the educator, it's important that you are, suggesting a curriculum that you feel would fit that student. Okay, mistake number 4 is giving too much for free. I gave way too much away for free in the beginning. I gave too many trial classes. I gave lots of leniency with cancellations. I would hop on calls with parents to talk about things that, really could have been dealt with maybe in a conversation, through text messaging, or through just having your information clearly laid out on a digital business card, or on your website. Don't do what I did. I gave away way too much for free in the beginning, and it's a mistake, and that I've learned from, and I don't do that anymore. So don't be like me. Mistake number 5 is not having a policy in place from the beginning. When I started teaching online privately with students, I didn't have policies. I didn't have cancellation policies, late show policies, no-show policies, and it was really working with companies that taught me how important that is. Because when a student is late and wants to maybe make up that class for free because they didn't get the whole class, it's important that you have a policy in place that states what happens when a student's late. When a student doesn't show up, do you just count that class as a miss, or do you charge the parent for that class? These are all things that are really important, but if you've got a policy in place that states what happens in case of one of those occurrences, then at least you're covered, and you can say, you signed this, you agreed to this, this is what happens when you don't show up, this is what happens when you're late, this is what happens when you cancel within 24 hours, all those types of things. And in the contract, I also state what happens if I don't show up to the class, or if I'm sick. We all need to be flexible, but it's important to have a policy in place to allow for, parents that might abuse your policies. Mistake number 6 is not having a system in place. Systems are so important in any business that you're running. If you are teaching independently, you are all of a sudden going to be the marketer, the liaison with the parents, you're going to be dealing with payments, you're going to be invoicing parents, communicating with parents, planning your classes, scheduling your classes, giving feedback on your classes, lots and lots of things. So it's important to have systems in place, and I didn't in the beginning. I was working way too much at this, and I realized that I needed to have a system in place to schedule my classes. Now I use ClassIn. I've talked about it in this video. It really helps me to schedule my classes on Sunday night for the whole week. I now do all my planning on Sunday, so I schedule all my classes in Notion, and I make sure that I've got the resources that I need for the lesson and that we're good to go for the whole week. I don't teach a ton. I teach about 20 classes a week, but I really make sure that I have everything in place before the week starts so that I'm not spending hours and hours doing these things every single day as my classes are approaching. It's important to have systems in place. Systems let you scale because they let you grow. So I really believe in systems. Okay, mistake number 7, a bonus mistake that I just thought of was chasing shiny objects. It's really easy to see things in this industry that are maybe exciting or new, or someone's talking about it on Facebook and everybody thinks that they need to go and do it. Someone will say, I'm using this platform, and all of a sudden everybody feels like they need to use it as well because it might look a little bit better on the on the cover. But be careful about that, because if you're constantly chasing shiny objects, then you're just going to drive yourself crazy. This goes for curriculum, platforms, scheduling apps, payment, whatever it is. There's always going to be something else out there. If you found something that works, keep going with it. You don't need to jump to the next thing just because a bunch of people are using it and talking about it. Stable platforms, solid curriculums, while they may not have all the bells and whistles, can also do a great job in the classroom. So make sure that you be careful with chasing shiny objects. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, folks, those are my 7 independent teaching mistakes that I've made along my journey, sharing them with you so that you can avoid them, learn from them, take what you want from them, and maybe not make those mistakes as well. Chime in the comments if you've made some of these mistakes, or if you're in one of these mistakes. I'd love to hear from you. Whatever you do, make it a good day, be good to yourself, be good to those around you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, don't go anywhere just yet. These videos might be interesting to watch for you, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it right here with one click. Also, in the video description, I recommend different products and services and ways that you can work with me further. So don't forget, look in the video description.